and welcome to another video. On this episode of Budget Cosplay, we are going to be doing the Batgirl of Burnside cosplay with some edits. Now, I have been into the Batgirl comics since I started reading comics. I watched the Dark Knight trilogy when they first came out and fell in love with comics, started reading Batman comics, and through that found the rest of the Bat family and found Batgirl. Now, for this costume, I did have to make a couple of the things, starting with, and I've had this for a while, so I'll just talk through how I made it, her jacket. I bought a bluish purple jacket that I really liked on eBay for about 20 bucks, and I bought yellow fabric, and I cut out the bat symbol that's on the chest of all of their costumes. I cut them out, and I Mod Podged a couple layers together and sewed it onto the jacket. That was the easiest way for me to make it and for it to have that glossy finish and look like it was part of the jacket to begin with. Now, because I did this about 2 years ago, I don't have any video footage of it, but there will be a link in the description below to step-by-step instructions on how I did it and exactly what I used for it. So, after that, the next big thing that I had to make was the boots. Now, finding yellow Doc Martens especially on a budget, is incredibly hard. I ended up not being able to find any already yellow boots, so instead I found a pair of white Doc Marten style boots, and I used some rubbing alcohol to remove their finish, and I spray painted them yellow, and that will be right here. Okay, so I got these boots. Actually, I got these for free at my job because we have like a clothing donation area, and if you don't know, Batgirl wears yellow Doc Martens. Yellow Doc Martens or any yellow looking boot can be super hard to find, so we're going to spray paint these. So what we're going to do first is we're going to remove the laces from the boots, because we want these to stay black when we spray paint them. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take painter's tape, and we're just going to tape the parts that we want to stay black, which is really just this part of the shoe, the sole. So I'm just going to take some painter's tape. Maybe. So that's how you tape them up, just so this part stays black, and I'm going to repeat the other shoe, and then we're going to go outside and go on to the next step. Okay, so now we are outside. I am putting on gloves, and the first step to spray painting these is, as you can see, they are a little bit shiny, so we just have to take that finish off. So how we're going to do that is I have a bottle of 100% acetone, which is nail polish remover, and some big cotton pads. I have gloves on to protect my skin. I don't need the mask yet. I'm actually going to do this without the gloves. Oh, come on. There you go, you little gremlin. Ooh, that's on my hand. And I just got both of these from Five Below, but you can get them at any dollar store, any beauty store. I recommend going for the bigger pads because you can cover more surface area. So you'll be able to feel when you're done, when it starts to make that squeaking noise. It might not take all the gloss off. You can finish that if you really want them to be dull. You can finish that with sandpaper, but that's not really necessary. You just need to take that like soft feeling off because that's the finish. And you can see like the little yellow, everything I'm taking off. Right, that's one boot. You can feel the difference, it's really freaky. Alright. pictures of what it looks looks like when you take off the finish, but I didn't know it would like turn into that. And I don't know why, because these shoes are white. Alright. Nice and tacky. Alright, so we're going to cap the acetone and move on to the spray paint. So I'm using the Extra Cover Paint and Primer. It's the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch. This binds to plastic, it binds to vinyl, wood, metal, it binds to all sorts of stuff. I got this for $7 at AC Moore, and it is in the color Golden Sunset, and it's a glossy finish so that you will get that shine back on the boot so it looks like they're just natural. So now we're going to put on my gloves, pull down my sleeves, because I like not dyeing my skin yellow. Wow, I suck. I literally can't get this off.
We can cut.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hang on.
Yeah, I've barely moved the camera, so we'll just do a cut right there.
Yeah. I feel like I'm about to vandalize something. Good coverage. That's a really good color. I'm really pumped. Alright, so I'm gonna leave this here to dry. It could take another coat, I'm not 100% sure. Try not to paint any other body parts but my knee. Spray paint. And we're gonna leave them here to dry. Take this off now. We're going to leave them here to dry. It takes a couple of hours. It depends on your paint. And after you look at them, I already see a spot that got messed up. After they get a chance to dry, you can come back out, look at any spots that need to be touched up, or if they just need a coat overall again, because it can be kind of hard to tell when you're wet. But there are your Batgirl boots. All right. Okay, so now that I had the boots finished, it was just assembling the other things, and I was ready to go with my costume. So the next costume piece that I needed were some leggings that matched the jacket. They match as close as I could have gotten ordering some leggings online. I got these from Amazon, from Legging Depot, for about $7. And then the next thing was I needed some yellow gloves. I found these yellow gloves on Amazon for about $10. They are the Susie Kinder's work gloves. They're children's work gloves, but I got really small hands so they fit. There are tons of yellow work gloves and different types of yellow gloves on Amazon, so these are super easy to find. Now, the last thing was her cowl. Now, throughout her costumes, Batgirl's cowl has been A, very different from the rest of the Bat family's masks, and B, ever-changing. This pop figure, for example, is from the Burnside line when the cowl went down her face and it was more like a helmet. Later on in Rebirth, she has one that's just the front part of her face. Earlier than that, she had one that was just the front part of the face. At the very beginning of the New 52, she had a cowl that was more like a helmet. It varies very much for her. And the other thing that's different is she doesn't have the white that covers the eyes like Nightwing, all the Robins, and Batman have. So what I did, this is what I found to be easiest, was I decided to go with the Rebirth one where it just kind of sits on her face like a mask. So I ordered these sunglasses off of Amazon and popped out the lenses so that you could see my face the way hers does. And last but not least, I have my $13 ginger wig from Amazon. That link will be in the description below. And I had all of my pieces. So I threw them on, and me and my best friend / cameraman went to our local mall and took some amazing photos in the costume, which are right here. that about does it for this cosplay. Now, I did this cosplay for about $50. I made some edits to make it cheaper by cutting out her utility belt and cutting out her cape. It just really cut down on the cost. If I had added in the cape or added in the utility belt, it probably would have brought this cosplay up to about $100. Now, that's just a personal preference thing that I did. You don't have to do that. You can add it in, and I'm sure you can find your own ways to do it for cheap. This was my plan. Links to everything I bought will be in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment with what cosplay you'd like to see me do next. God damn it. Damn it. There we go. And I can't do a thing because I can't clap. So we're just gonna start.